Hello, my name is Samantha Duran, and for this week's SLO, I will be doing artifact number 3, Experienced Teacher Observation. So during this observation, I visited my mentor teacher's classroom during an opinion writing instruction to hopefully potentially understand how to apply instructional strategies, behavior management, and engagement practices implemented in real classroom time. So as a first year teacher, I am still developing my classroom practices through observation and reflection. And this experience tremendously helped me be able to connect what I am learning via my schoolwork to real classroom application. So for instance, I just wanted to put this example up. So while I was in my mentor teacher's classroom, she passed out these T-charts. This instruction is over opinion writing, and I'll get further into what she did, but I just wanted to show an example of what she was talking about. On my next slide, I broke down the different management and behavior strategies that I observed in the classroom, and I broke it down into 3 separate parts. So I'll kind of briefly be going over these different instances. So, for instance, the first strategy that I observed was the use of color coding during writing instruction. So, my mentor teacher, she used visual supports on the hover cam, such as using colors green, yellow, and red to allow the first graders to organize their ideas and help distinguish between different types of information. Being that this is first grade, it takes a lot of repetition. However, I saw that this closely aligns with the UDL for providing the first graders with multiple means of representation. I saw that students were able to access the content that my mentor teacher was showing visually via the hover cam, and it supported the students' comprehension and organization during writing, which is very crucial for opinion writing. Overall, I saw that the strategy helped connect culturally responsive practices because it helped diverse learners by reducing language barriers and providing a clear visual that benefited all students. I also want to reference the CASEL framework, particularly in areas such as self-management and responsible decision making. I saw that students were able to grasp the information that my mentor teacher was stating, and they were able to pursue and do the work independently to organize their ideas. And I actually saw a lot of them be able to regulate their behavior, stay on task, and make choices on how to complete their work. I believe that this classroom environment has supported the SEL competencies through clear expectations and very structured routines. Another strategy in my second column of this chart, I saw that my mentor teacher did a lot of active recall. I found that this was very important. Like I said, these are first graders, so active recall has helped tremendously in the classroom. My mentor teacher gave instructions and had students actively repeat the directions back. So this strategy I found helps align with HLP 18 that focuses on using these strategies to promote active student engagement by actively having students verbalize expectations. My teacher was able to ensure that all students were not just passively listening, but there were active participants in the learning process. And I also found that this active recall has supported the UDL principles by increasing engagement in the classroom and finding multiple ways for students to process information. Recalling the CASEL perspective, I believe that this supports self-awareness and self-management because the students had to continuously check their understanding before transitioning to doing their independent work. Lastly, I observed that my teacher did intentional movement throughout the lesson. She transitioned the students from the carpet to their desks multiple times, whether that is going back to their desk to write their names or going to the carpet to listen to instruction. There was continuous movement in the classroom. I saw that it kept students engaged and reduced off-task behavior. I believe that this aligns with culturally responsive teaching practices because it recognizes that students are able to learn in different ways and that movement can be very important of engagement and regulation, especially for these young learners. Like I said, they're 6 and 7 years old, so movement is necessary in the classroom. I also believe that this practice of the movement has connected to HOP 18 because the movement has been used as an active engagement strategy to maintain focus and participation in the classroom. Okay, in all, sorry, I know I said that was lastly, but in all, my third strategy that my mentor teacher has emphasized very strongly to me was teacher proximity. So when students became distracted or displayed off-task behaviors, my mentor teacher used proximity control by quietly standing near the student instead of publicly calling out the behavior. So I found that by her proximity, it closely aligned with HLP 8 because it provided constructive, immediate feedback in a respectful way. That preserve the student dignity in the classroom instead of just blatantly calling them out for disruptive behavior. I also found that this strategy supports the CASEL framework by assisting students in developing self-management skills in a very safe and supportive environment without disruptive instruction. Additionally, I observed how consistent routines throughout writing lessons supported HOP 22 as students followed structured procedures for instruction, independent work, and transitions. These routines have created an organized learning environment where these first graders have understood their expectations and were able to focus on learning rather than uncertainty about what to do next. So overall, I think that this experience, teacher observation, has helped me see how UDL principles, SEL competencies through CASEL framework, culturally responsive practices, and HOP practices and framework has worked together to create effective learning environments and strategies. I noticed that my teacher has intentionally combined engagement strategies, behavior supports, and visual supports to make it inclusive for all learners in the classroom. As I reflect and grow as an educator, specifically an elementary educator, I plan to apply these strategies in my own classroom. I will incorporate visual supports such as color coding, active recall during instruction, or intentionally including structured movement opportunities and using proximity as a respective behavior management tool. I will also focus on strengthening students' social emotional skills by helping build consistent and clear routines that show self-management and engagement in the classroom. I truly believe that this observation has gave me a clearer understanding of how intentional instructional design and behavior supports have worked together to, in all, create an inclusive, structured, and engaging classroom environment that has supported all learners. I know that was quite a lot, but yeah, I really appreciated this SLO this week. Thank you so much.